Why is it so dark? Hi. The focus on my face, not the background. Anyway, fix it in post. So, so yeah, I just got out of seeing A Quiet Place, and I really enjoyed this movie. You know, I knew I would enjoy the movie, being that seeing the trailer, and every time I mentioned that the trailer had come on, all that stuff, I'm like, yeah, it seems like a really interesting concept, yada hoo ha. And it is, it really is. Like, I'll go into spoilers a little later, but I'm just gonna kind of say spoiler free. Yes, it's a really good movie. Yes, it's quiet for 99% of the time in the movie. And yeah, it is, I was gonna say not for the faint of heart, but really, yeah, because I suffer from a panic disorder, or 20,000, and that was some shit, man. That was some shit. There were times where I was just like, you know. It's like, yes, there were times where you're like, okay, a jump scare I think is coming up, but then there were times where you're like, anyway, you know. There were a few times where things did catch me off guard. You know, there was one part where, like, I knew it was scary. I was starting to sip on my drink. And then I just was like, like, back out. I was like, like, just... And I was like, alright, I'm gonna go with the first showing of the day, so I'm not around any person, all that stuff. Forgetting, it's not a weekday like I normally do this when I go by myself. It's the weekend. So, of course, there were people, there were some children, they were way more well-behaved than fucking A Wrinkle in Motherfucking Time, you know? There were like two kids, like you heard like because the movie is so quiet and you hear every so often you hear them go, yeah, but you know the parents just like shut them the fuck up immediately because that's what you're supposed to fucking do. Yeah, there was like these slightly younger people over here and they were just like, you could tell they were just stupid teenagers because like what was jabbering on was very like stop it, no, shut up, shut up, no, give it to me, no, shut up. It was like stuff like that, and it's like, shut the fuck up. And they were the only ones who really like said anything during the movie, but like other people were shushing them, so I didn't have to. It wasn't a packed house, but for like early morning Saturday, and for the size of the theater, it's like, yes, like I would say at least half of it was pretty full. But anyway, yeah, so movie good, stuff bad. Anyway, but no, the movie is good. It's, like I said, it's a very interesting concept, and, you know, for a horror film, you know, and it's one of those where people are like, I don't really see it as a horror one, I see it like this. I wouldn't really categorize it, whatever. It's in the horror genre because shit happens and you're scared. You're fucking scared the entire time. You know? So, like I said, I would say definitely go see it. I'm gonna go into spoilers in a second, but yeah, definitely go see it. It's very good. You are, you know, I don't really see, like, it doesn't have the horror film thing where you find yourself going like, bitch, just run! Or like, or you know, stuff like that where it's like, what are you doing? Oh my god! You know? There's there's a small thing that made you kind of go, ah, like that. But anyway, yeah, but it's not one of those, like, you know, the character has a gun to the killer kind of thing, and then, you know, they have so much ample time to kill them, but then they're like, no, and then, of course, then they die, like, that whole shit. No, that doesn't happen. Like, everyone's choices made sense, all that shit. Again, go see A Quiet Place. It's really enjoyable, and I'm gonna go into spoilers. 3, 2, 1. Spoilers. Okay, so, you know how, like, in the trailer, you see Emily Blunt, you see John Krasinski, you see a little girl and a little boy, and that's all you see in the trailer. Like, okay, it's a family of 4. When the movie begins, there's, like, a tiny child that's, like, running around with them, because I guess they're, like, gathering supplies or whatever, not, at, like, a pharmacy kind of thing. It just, because I've been finally playing Season 2 of Walking Dead, just kind of gave me this, like, Walking Dead vibe to it. And, you know, because it's, the movie just started, so, again, it is total, like, no dialogue. Again, there is, like, you know, there's sign language going on, and then there's the score that, of course, helps, amplifies the mood, yada yada, all that stuff. And, of course, everyone's performances are really great because you are literally performing without speaking, which I feel like, to me, I feel like it's, like, the best way, you know, like, ages ago, like, back in, it was, like, 2010 or something, there was, like, some, not saying that I would have done something amazing like this, but there was, like, some stupid, like, 10-20 minute thing I wrote, and I wanted it to be kind of not exactly like this, but where there's like little to no dialogue and it's all like people's expressions, yada yada. Never got a chance to film it because the people I was with were like, I don't feel like it, or like, oh, blah blah blah, you know. It was just like, cool, don't know if that'll ever be a thing. But anyway, so yeah, like, you're seeing all this stuff where, like, they're in the pharmacy and they have to be careful, like, lifting up, you know, like, freaking pills. You can't just go, you know, because that makes sounds. So, like, you know, Emily Blunt is just, like, slightly, like, turning the thing, and you're watching, like, you know, people in the theater are trying, like, in the beginning, people, you know, like, they're eating. You hear, like, people munching on popcorn and nachos and all that stuff. But, like, as more and more, like, pretty much within the first, like, 15 minutes of the movie, I think everyone else realized, like, oh, maybe I should stop crunching on this food because, one, I can't, you know, like, my immersion in the movie isn't, you know, all the best, and two, like, I'm making mad noise, you know. Even, like, the dude in front of me, hey, he sucked that he had a squeaky chair. He would, like, lean, and he would just be like, you know, he'd be like, wait, hold on, you know. But anyway, yeah, so you see this tiny little child, and, you know, it's kind of like, Jesus Christ, what movie is it? It's like this, God, I remember watching it back when I was, like, in high school or something. I think it was, like, something, it was like a movie adapted of, like, the Diary of Anne Frank or something, so it was, like, during the time where they're, you know, trying to hide away from the Nazis and being quiet. They show, you know, like, a part where, like, oh, a cat is, like, you know, on something, it looks like it's about to knock something off the counter, and the entire time you're like, oh god, this shit's gonna happen. See, because you see the tiny little child, like, climb on, like, a step stool thing, go for, like, a clunking, like, rocket ship toy, and you know, you're like, that's gonna make a noise, because it's a fucking toy. It's not a plushie or anything, it's a fucking toy. And then, of course, like, the little kid, like, grabs it, because it's kid and dexterity of derp, you know, it falls, but the girl, like, catches it, like, fucking football style, and then they're good. And then, during that, I kept thinking, I'm like, wait a second. The trailer only showed 2 kids. They didn't show this little baby, and all I kept thinking is, oh, this baby's gonna die. This child is gonna die. And so, I was kind of waiting for the child to die, as terrible as that sounds. So, you know, like, they leave the little pharmacy thing, they're walking on their little sand patches, yada yada. They cross this bridge, and you kind of see the bridge in the trailer, like, really quick. And then, so at first, like, John Krasinski was just kind of, like, taking the toy away, like, you know, no, we can't, too much noise. But, like, you can't really be too mad at the kid, because the kid's a freaking kid, you know? So of course it was like, yeah, like, put the toy down, take the batteries out, you know, yada yada. And then the sister, like, and again, you can't blame it on the sister either, because she hands him the toy like, no, it's fine, you can have the toy. But this is the part where, like, everyone's wrong, because Yada didn't keep an eye on the tiny baby child, so the tiny kid, like, walks away with the toy, but then is like, well, I'm gonna take these batteries too, and it's like, no! So, like, the moment, like, the kid took the batteries, everyone in the theater was like, oh, like, all that same sound. So, Jesus, titty fucking Christ. So, of course, they're about to cross this bridge, and the sister, it's quickly established that she has a hearing aid. You can kind of see it, like, really quick in the trailer. I think they probably airbrushed it away so you don't see it, but yeah, so the sister, she has, like, a hearing aid. So, and that's another thing I really like, is that whenever they show something kind of from her perspective, all sound goes away, so you kind of know, like, oh, like, there'll be like shit happening behind her, and she's just kind of like doop, 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 doop. So that's what happened. Like the kid starts playing with the fucking rocket ship, and it's like pew 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 pew, like making all this sound. And he's like rocket. He doesn't say anything, but he's pretty much playing with it, like rocket ship. It's a rocket ship. All that stuff. Emily Blunt, John Krasinski, they all turn around. John Krasinski was like holding, like, you know, carrying like their son because he was a little bit weak. Even he's like, oh my god. But they can't go, no! They're just like that. Because the daughter sees them freak out. So then she's like, what? She turns around, of course, sees them like, rocket ship. It's got lights and shit happening. So then fucking John Krasinski's like running, like trying to either like swipe the toy or something. And then you just see like a quick like, whap! And you're like, what the fuck? Whoa! You know? And like the monsters are not bad. Like this is gonna sound like kind of like a bastardization of it, but it's like a fucking what's a fuck it? Like a Cloverfield crab monster kind of thing. You know, but within reason. Like it wasn't like, oh my god, is that a crab monster? You know, but just you have to see it to know. And they were smart to kind of like do the quick like, okay, it's weird looking, obviously, like like that, and you're like, ah, what is that? And of course, you know, like your kid's dead, your little shit kid died because it wanted a fucking rocket ship, you know. So then again, you where did my brain go? But yeah, so like there's that, and then you slowly see kind of like, you know, them showing you stuff like, well, when they were leaving the pharmacy, you saw like a New York Post, you know, showing, and it's like, it's sound, and you're like, what? It's just like the paper just flapping in the wind. You get back to their home, and in like the basement, John Krasinski has like, you know, all this stuff, like, you know, and he has like this dry erase board that's like, there's 3 in the area. They're blind, they have armor, you know, what are their weaknesses? What do you call that? It's all sound, as we knew from the trailer. So, you know, like, you also see other, like, newspaper clippings, like, this is how you survive, stay quiet, yada yada yada, you know, again, the whole premise of the movie. But now you know it's also, like, it's an alien invasion, so you have that kind of, like, oh, okay, you know, it's not it's not just like, oh, there's some supernatural thing or something. It's like aliens. It's like, it's fucking signs, you know? It's signs because there's a fucking cornfield. Shit happens in a fucking cornfield at one point, for God's sake. You know, although, much better than signs, of course. So, shit happens. The part you see in the trailer where the fucking kid knocks over the lantern happens, like, probably a good 5 minutes after, you know, because then they show, so in the beginning, it's like when the little kid, it was, what was it? I think it said like 40-something days, like probably a little bit over a month after, you know, it's happened. And then it kind of flashes forward to a little bit over a year. You see that Emily Blunt's character, she's pregnant, you know, like, okay, well, that one's dead. Let's try again. Hopefully this one won't be such an idiot, you know? So, pretty much, like, majority of the movie is just, it's that, like, you see them, like, their day-by-day thing, you know, them, like, they're not eating on plates, they're eating on, like, big old leaves, and they're eating, you know, like, very soft veggies and stuff, and if they catch fish, they steam them, like, food, you know, obviously there's no frying things, you know, there's no, like, chopping, you know, things like that. Like, at one point you see her doing laundry, and it's like, shit, yeah, how would you do laundry? Because water, if you're, even, like, of course, a washing machine would be making too much noise. If you're hand washing it, you know, you're like, whoosh, whoosh, with the sound. So she's just, like, slowly, like, squishing water out, and I'm like, that is fucking annoying. But yeah, you see, like, you know, the father, John Krasinski, and the child, like, they're going out, catching the fish, you know, realizing that when you're near, like, a loud, like, river or, like, the waterfall, they can, like, talk and all that stuff because it's masking their sound, yada yada, and it's awesome, you know. So the few parts that there is actual dialogue scene, you know, whatchamacallit, yeah, so you see a lot of that. You see, you know, the daughter's kind of going through her own little struggle because she does blame herself for having her little brother die because she handed him the rocket ship kind of thing. So it's a lot of, you get to see a lot of that, you know. You see them preparing, like, this little bunker for when the baby comes. So, like, the children are, like, fucking, like, gluing like newspaper to the wall, you know, for sound and all that shit. They make like this box, like a wooden box to put the baby in, like, because, you know, the baby's gonna cry, and it's like this tiny ass like oxygen mask, you know, and you're just like, oh shit. Anyway, so you see all this stuff. It's pretty much kind of like a day in the life, da da da. Then like a little bit more time pass. I'm guessing because when you first see her, she's probably 3 to 6 months pregnant. I didn't really notice like how much more days went by. But I'm guessing obviously then we flash to the next one. Then she's of course like 9 months pregnant because she's taking like her blood pressure, and she is like 3 weeks away from, you know, the baby popping out. So anyway, to the crazy part where she fucking, like, so when shit goes real in this movie, like, sorry, I really enjoy this movie, so I'm like, I don't know what to talk about. But anyway, when shit goes real, like, they were all very smart about, you know, of course, you know, when you have some shit like this, you have to have an action plan. So, of course, they were very smart about it. Yeah, it's just the fact that, like, John Krasinski was kind of, like, you know, fussing with all of the so many different hearing aids the daughter had to kind of like send out like a high pitched frequency, all that stuff. And you do see it happen, like, you know, like 2 to 3 times where like the thing will go off and the daughter's like, you know, and then the monster would go away and she wouldn't know the monster was right behind her, and then it would happen again in the silo. And then I thought at least like she would get it because it happened in the silo, but I'm like, wait, she didn't even realize the first time when it happened, it was behind her. So that's technically the first time it's happened in front of the monster. Then it happens again when they run into the car, and then, you know, super spoilers, rip John Krasinski's character on that. So then like another time she just turns it off because it's a high pitched sound. You know, you can't hear anything, but then that's all you hear. Like, that's not comforting. But yeah, like But in the end, like, when she finally realizes, like, oh, wait, Dad has all my hearing aids, like, you know, the static from the television just making this thing freak out. She's like, bitch, where's a microphone? Whee! You know? And then Emily Blunt being that quick with the shotgun, awesome. I fucking love it. Oh my god, then the scene, but like, way before that, where she, like, gave birth, silently had to give birth while monsters are out there. It's just, oh my god, yeah, like, there's so much, yeah. I'm not making any sense. Anyway, like I said, I enjoyed the movie. Go see it. Of course, all this is a lot of spoilers. Like I said, I had a lot of fun going to see this movie, and people in the theater were quite well behaved compared to usual. I was glad there wasn't too many people in the theater doing the whole, like, bitch, shut up, get out of there, like, no one yelling at the screen, because especially a movie that is that fucking quiet, the last thing you need is anyone yelling at the screen, you know? There was the one part where when the little girl did turn off her hearing aid, some dumbass was like, turn it back on, and it's like, bitch, think about logically. She literally, that was like the second time it happened, she didn't get it. You know these things have to happen in threes. You know that, you know? Anyway, trailers. First thing is Sicario 2. I think I said this last time. I don't think that, what's his name, is directing Sicario 2. I think it's a completely different, yeah, did he do first one? Yeah, I think I talked about this last time. Yeah, it's a different director and cinematographer, so I feel like Sicario 2 looks more like a generic action film than what the beautifulness that we got last time. I'll still go see it because fucking Benicio del Toro looking fucking insane. Anyway, next thing is this thing called Hereditary. What was it about? I have to look it up. Shit. Heredity. Toni Collette. Oh, yeah, okay, it's like another horror film kind of thing. So, Toni Collette's character really likes making miniatures. Grandma dies. Some weird shit starts happening. I don't know. It looks interesting, but also looks insane. So, I don't fuck it. After that is Darkest Minds, which I have to see. Is this another, like, YA thing? Like, why is... What's her face? Amandla, like, always in, like, YA things. It's based on a fucking novel. Jesus, titty fucking Christ. Is it a YA novel? Is it a goddamn YA novel? Oh my god. Jesus. It's like, it's just kind of, it's, you know, the dystopian YA thing where it's like, oh yeah, we're gifted children, but the parents have to surrender their children over to the government because genetic mutation. I don't fucking know. Anyway, so they're all like, we will fight stuff. Mandela has her eyes line up. I don't know. Gwendolyn Christie's in it? Jesus fucking Christ. I mean, you can do so much better than that. Alright, so after that is the Truth or Dare. I don't know. I've been getting that commercial, like, whenever I put on YouTube. Like, I get that ad all the time, so I've seen it like 1,000 times. This time I saw, obviously, something longer than like a 5-second clip, and it's like, oh, okay, we went to Mexico, so blame it on the Mexicans, and, you know, you play the Truth or Dare thing, blah, 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 and I think the dumbest part is whenever whatever evil takes over them, they go into, like, the very, like, you just took the liquefy tool and gave them all, like, Joker smell. You're like, Truth or Dare? And it's like, that's fucking dumb. After that is Tag. I really want to go see that because it looks fucking hilarious. It's, like, the only, like, fucking comedy recently that I'm like, oh, I want to go see that. After that, it's Action Point. I've talked about it. It's the one with Knoxville. That one. And then the last one is Mission Impossible 6. What's it called? Like, the sandwich maker? I don't know. Mission Impossible. Fallout, that's it. I'm like, it's like that game. Yeah. I wonder if they'll explain why Renner isn't in the movie. Wes Bentley's in the movie? Apparently. Yeah, I wonder if they'll explain why Renner is in it, because he was obviously in the last two. They'll probably say something like, oh, he was really busy, because that's what Renner is. He's always fucking busy. They have him replace Hawkeye with Superman. But yeah, it's fucking Mission Impossible. Like, fuck yeah. Like, of course I'm gonna go see it. Like, it's fucking Mission Impossible. What do you want me to do? But anyway, wow, I didn't realize I spoke for 20 minutes on this. So yeah. Quiet Place, go see it. These trailers were a lot more than normal because this movie is only like 90 minutes long. And it doesn't need to be any longer, because I think if it was any longer, it would just be like, now you're just padding, you know, a movie like this. And it was, yeah. But anyway, I got shit to do.